Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2021 Maricopa Open presented by Infinite Discs. We're at the Maricopa Meadows Disc Golf Course, and of course, this is the back half of round number 2, the conclusion of this event. Pete Ulibarri is again joining me for the commentary. Pete, multifaceted this weekend. You're winning the tournament. Spoilers, folks. Winning the Masters division. Congratulations. You're out here grabbing drone footage, and now you're doing commentary. I feel like you're trying to take my job.
Yeah, it's my whole goal. Take over the Disc Golf Guys content page. I'll pass.
Yeah, you got much better things to do. I promise you that. Well, here we are with Adam, who has been doing quite well here in the front. We see Nick Newton fall off slightly. They were tied going into this. Now you see Adam with a 4-stroke advantage and the outright lead with holes 15 through 27 to play.
Yeah, looks like Nick is throwing this really technical force over shot, probably with an H1 or something like that. Left him a little right, almost went in the planter box, but he's going to have a putt. It's going to be a little lengthy, but...
Yeah, he said he's just not comfortable going up that left side. Of course, that sidewalk plays us out of bounds. And he said he just doesn't trust going over there, and
it's
not too often.
Over there.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of OB, that's for sure. And of course, we've got Mike Lassuy, who is just 2 strokes off the lead himself, as he sits at 15 under. He came in at 7 under, so he's 8 under on the round thus far.
Smoking hot on that.
And he's wearing jeans.
Oh, he's a mountain man. He's from Flagstaff, man. Give him a chainsaw and a hammer and wood, and he'll build whatever you want.
Well, as we closed out the front half, we saw his sister show up, and she was cheering him on, and pretty exciting stuff going on out here. He's been putting on a show, and Henry says he's been struggling a little bit with his putter. We're going to see if he can pick this back up in the back half.
Yeah. He's a ways out. I mean, that was a good putt, but it was a little low, a little tailwind.
And being pin high up against that OB is actually a perfectly fine place to be. It seems so much farther away from the tee.
You know, Mikey keeps on doing this. He's going to have to build some birdhouses because he's racking up a whole flock.
I feel like you've been sitting on that one, waiting for it. I like it, Pete.
It just came to me.
Nick, you're feeling some pressure as he was, like I said, tied coming into this final round.
Just a little low. Just kind of fell out of his hand on that one.
Now there's going to be a brief conversation here.
How should I take my meter? Like straight this way or straight this way?
It's like he's just touching where
off, right?
those rocks OB are.
I mean,
yeah, he's trying to confirm with the group as to how he should
take a meter.
pull this away.
You get a meter off the OB. Probably go. Yeah, but it would be off that corner, so it'd be over here.
Technicalities of going away from it.
45 degrees right
10
off
degrees or 15 degrees.
Yeah, and that's what Nick is chiming in from afar.
Here?
And ultimately, Henry's like,
that's cool.
It's like a 6-inch difference here.
Okay.
Looks like they've agreed on it, and that's where Adam will take his line. Now, he was inbounds. Again, any part of your disc touching inbounds makes you, in fact, inbounds. And he's got a good look at birdie.
Very good putt. He's got such a solid swing to his putt. The disc seems to stay right on line the whole way. It's really fun to watch that.
Yeah, and what's incredible is obviously short range, it looks so smooth and fluid, but then even you put him at 50, 60, 90 feet, and he still finds a way to drain them from way back as well. So we're taking a look at hole 16. This one looks pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah, straight down the gap. Planter boxes, of course, on the right. Sidewalk kind of snakes and winds around the top here. 2 little trees before you get to the basket, just to kind of like make it feel like you need to push the disc up the hill. But I think the smartest shots are going to throw straight down the gut and leave you right in about where that shadow is, not climb the hill. Some people throw a hyzer just to spike the hill, but there can be some tricky winds up there.
Adam doesn't love it out of his hand, but as long as you don't really pull it hard right or hard left, I mean, you're going to have a putt at it.
He really made about the mistake that you really would want to have should you make a mistake.
Oh, there we go. A little tree love.
Oh, a little kickoff.
Just got to talk real sweet to it. I heard a, come on, baby. I mean, that's all it took. Nick with a mid of sorts, it looks like.
Yeah, that's just feeding right into where it needs to go. Little cut roll. Let's see what Henry's got here.
I may have misspoke in the front half. I apologize to all the gyro heads out there. That might be an entropy. Does that maybe sound right? You play League with the guy.
He switched it out recently, but I think it's a proxy.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll give MVP
I think.
all the shout
I could
outs.
be wrong.
I called it an ion during the front half, so I'm sure Henry, who I know watches, can chime in, and we'll just give MVP all the plugs.
Leave it in the comments below, Henry.
Wow, high left chain, and even that one catches for him. Yeah, he, like you said, I mean, he really was in good position there. You know, you're putting straight uphill. You know, he didn't really have any angle from that right to left to worry about, so to speak. Just throw
You
it
don't
a
really
little
have
bit
to
low.
worry. The sidewalk's far enough back there from that position. You don't have to worry about really blasting past and going OB either.
You know, I mentioned in the front half, we see Mike really kind of collect his breath or his thoughts and his breath,
Yeah.
and man, he gets dialed and focused real quick.
Yeah, it's good to see him playing well on camera. I must say it again, man. It's a treat to be able to commentate and talk about what he can do with the disc, because it's been a special thing to watch for years.
Fair to say he doesn't travel outside of the Arizona vicinity often. Is that why we don't?
It's completely fair to say. He typically hangs out, does tree bash, Flagstaff, you know, a couple of the local mountain tournaments, but he doesn't really travel outside of the state much.
Okay, well, hole 17, we're seeing the sidewalks kind of meandering throughout, and it's kind of unique. Those play as a OB river or a creek here. Is that correct? Just inside of it?
Yeah, so you can be right or left of this sidewalk, but don't be on it. That's out of bounds. These trees have gotten bigger, and it's opened up this straight gap a little more, but I think the bigger arms are going to go for the hyzer. And that's a much higher hyzer than I'm used to watching.
It felt like he maybe held on to it a bit much when he had released it.
Mikey taking his deep breath again and composing himself.
Yeah, I usually get a few jumping jacks in. He says thank you as it just narrowly misses the tree branches and puts him right there on the dance floor. I mean, he's got a little work to do, maybe 30, 35 feet, but not too bad. Here's Nick. He's going to pull this one wide right.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll ask, do you like, I mean, there's almost a little element of luck to this hole in terms of if you just happen to land on just the sidewalk, the only part that's OB. Do you like how that plays? Would you rather just see everything to the right of the sidewalk OB? Or no?
I don't mind how it plays. There's a little element of luck, but I mean, if it was a river or a creek, we would all think it was the coolest hole in the world. You know, like
very true.
You get to. It's just this river's frozen into stone.
I was just gonna say this is more like a Phoenix River, right? Or an Arizona
Phoenix
river,
just dry.
Not much there for Nick, unfortunately. And for as high as that hyzer was, it's incredible to see him still pin high with this basket.
Incredible. These boys throw far nowadays.
A little bit of that rocking motion, tips the leg and cashes it in.
Again.
Well, he sits at 20 under, and just a little spoiler, we're going to have another chase card check-in immediately following this hole. I think we've got what AB's been doing on these holes as well. And so take note of that. Adam sits at 20. Michael's trying to chase him down here.
Again.
What a battle. They're like exchanging
awesome.
birdie for birdie. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Henry had the best drive in the group. Not the best putt. Ouch.
For sure. I know Henry wants to shoot a whole lot better than this. I mean, like you said, his driver's really doing a lot of work for him today.
So we notice Nick and Henry tied at 14, Adam at 20, Michael at 18, and I think we're going to head back a couple of holes and check in and see what AB's been up to on these holes that we just watched them play. We head back here. This is the beginning. This is back on 15.
He takes out the forehand route.
And usually if you don't see it land, that's a good sign on this hole. And that's
it goes
perfect.
In a little sunken gully, and it looked like he had that not much work left on the bone there. Just
a little tap in. So he takes the birdie. Again, Adam at this point is at 19 under. Anthony, as Adam wrapped up this hole, he was at 19 under. Anthony puts himself again right there.
Love that shot.
Yeah.
Typically, I see the boys, they'll be throwing the big spike at this, and seeing them just play the smart up the middle controlled shot is awesome. It worked out perfect for him right there.
So AB stays 2 behind, and then he heads over here to hole number 17. And that push is hard. Tough for G to the O to even follow that, but it puts himself here. Yeah.
AB.
So there it is. He goes 3 for 3, and he's sitting right there, tied with Mike Lassuy at 18 under, 2 off of AB. And we head over to hole 18. This should be a birdie all day, right?
Yeah, it should be a birdie all day. Just a spike hyzer will take it from a right-hand backhand. If you have a forehand, that's pretty much the same shot. Just get over this little sidewalk ridge and put it close.
Well, I'll go ahead and say it. According to PDGA.com, this played as statistically the easiest hole on the course at 2.49.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't want to call out the 1 or 2 bogeys out there. That would be mean, so I won't do that yet. Nice high. I mean, I feel like you see the high, stalling hyzer. We've seen people kind of, laser right at it. All you need to do is really just clear that second ridge and you're putting, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'll note right here, Nick's flying right over that little tree. And I was one of the statistics. Thank you. I broke the statistics. I hit that tree and parred the hole. So it can come into play if you hang it just a little bit.
Okay. I thought you were going to say you were one of the few bogeys.
No.
Okay.
I mean that on camera.
I mean, you don't win tournaments with bogey in this one.
No.
So Michael is deep.
He might as well have been 10 feet. That was so good.
Just doesn't matter. Adam recognizes and can appreciate. Adam's got to be thinking like, "Who's this old man?
Is this little guy doing this to me?
What's he doing?" I mean,
I'm 5 feet taller than him, and he's still keeping up with me.
And I say old man only because I'm guessing Adam thinks everyone's an old man compared to him. I mean, he's obviously him and AB, young superstars of the game.
Yeah.
Even though I believe Mike told me he's maybe 38 or 39.
He's getting ready to push towards Masters Land, and we're going to keep him in the Open as long as possible.
Nick doing his part, and there it is.
There we go. Back on the train.
There it is. That is a star frame. Everybody birdies.
Awesome.
A little round of drinks on that one. Thank you to all my Patreon subscribers and all the new ones that have jumped on. Hole 19 at 365. I think this is one of the more daunting holes out here. No?
Pretty much. It's you have to go to the right for the first time in a long time. And so turnover or sky turnover or, a really good forehand will get you down. And these trees have grown up enough. They're blocking. Sidewalk's still in play. If you miss your turnover, you're going to go over the sidewalk. So looks like Adam's going with the forehand. As far as he throws it, those trees really shouldn't come into play.
Yeah, unfortunately, he wishes they would have because he goes up and over, and it actually catches. We hear it hit the bottom side of the van, so the timing was just wrong, and yeah, that's going to be out of bounds for Adam. And we've seen him OB once or twice, and he managed to save par one out of the 2 times he's been OB this round.
Like he's got a good line on this.
Yeah, just barely catches those trees.
Tester.
And this is one of my favorite views on the course is just watching that disc rise up. I'm sure you know what mountain range that is behind there.
I should. I don't.
I just assumed you would. I feel like you know everything.
I haven't been rock hunting in there yet.
I mean,
I think they're the Escadilla. I think they're at the Escadilla Mountains, actually. So if I'm going to be real about it, and that's the road. Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Another one of those Arizona rivers that we don't like.
Arizona River.
So yeah, they have. Ultimately, I wanted to see if he was okay. His disc was spared. Yeah.
Add insult to injury.
No, thankfully. They missed it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
right
Mikey
online.
for the first layup of the round.
Yeah, I mean he was right on line with it too. I mean it looked good. Now this is Adam with a little bit of pressure, as he's out of bounds.
Again, his putt is just so. Like when it leaves his hand, you just see it's going in. You can tell because it's so straight. Like if you're behind him and he put and you can tell if it's in or out, and it's just bang, bang, bang consistently in.
Yeah, I don't know what pressure you were talking about, but nice.
That's a good putt.
That's got to feel good. I mean, obviously throwing OB sucks. That's a given. But when you can walk away with a par on one of the tougher holes on the course and knowing you just, you walked away with a par, that's not too bad.
Yeah. This hole's going to do you have the stats on how hard it was?
Yeah, I can try and take a quick look here as Nick's putt. It feels like he's been a little low, and then this time he's putting uphill, so he gives it a little too much. Let's see if I can. Nick collecting his thoughts. Yeah, and this played at 3.08. So
just right at it.
Yeah.
Mikey's gonna tap in. The rare pars showed its face to him.
Everybody parring. Some a little more exciting than others. But we head over to hole 20, and it looks like they're doing a little landscaping. But I feel like this is a must-get birdie.
It is very much a must-get birdie. It's short, 262 feet. You can throw a putter straight down the middle. You can throw a little spike off to the right, and just beat this little tree on the right, and you're good. Sidewalk is close, so main thing is just don't leave it left. That's the rule of this hole.
And not too often we see a backhand, a backhand putter or mid out of Adam. I think that's a zone, but it looked to like it worked just fine.
It's like a predator from Mikey. He's been using them predators for years. He just Flagstaff will wear them out, and he'll still use them. And then they turn into just XLs or something.
Explain to everybody what a predator is. You might be talking ahead of a few people out here, some of our newer viewers.
All right, a predator is a fairway driver, a faster fairway driver that's very overstable. And when you have a high arm speed like Mikey does, they can fly quite a long ways straight and then finish decent left. So
yeah. Way back in the day, they used to be one of the most stable discs that Discraft made, and it also used to be one of the fastest. And by today's standards, not so much the case for either. But one of the favorites of both Kale Laviska and Nate Doss. So there's a little history for everyone. They're probably older also than Adam Hammis. So
they most likely are.
Was a hole in the matrix or something? I don't know, a warp or something. I don't know, but it looked good out of his hand, and just a little bit to the right.
I'll pardon the pun, but like when you're playing billiards, it's called a miscue. And I think that was no chalk on the end of the stick on that one.
I'll go with that. Now here's Mike with he's thinking, oh my gosh, Adam's given me an opportunity, and he takes it.
He does. Most of the time when you leave the door open with Mikey, he'll pummel you.
So he pulls within a single stroke here of Hammis taking the birdie, and Hammis at this point still got to be thinking like, who's this guy and what's he doing?
Yeah.
I mean, Hammis is making almost every putt, and here Michael is right there with him.
Yeah. I asked Adam after, I say, what do you think about Mikey? And he goes, that guy doesn't miss a putt. Every time he stood up to it, he goes, it's in. So a lot of respect out there.
For sure. And hole 21, rarely birdied, but a beautiful hole, but very difficult, isn't it?
It's challenging. You got to beat this tree in the middle we just flew by. Everything wants to feed to the right if you're turning a turnover. And so it's pretty much chip out there, chip out 300 feet, 350, and then pitch around the corner. Get up and down for 3. I was curious to see how many people were going to get super aggressive with the lead card or the upper cards, just because it's very difficult to get around that corner. That pine tree's mandatory to the left when you're facing off the tee. So
yeah, and getting up and throwing quite quickly actually almost got me entirely was Mikey. You saw where he finished there, and then that was, of course, Henry's shot out in the open. Rarely do I see, I think it was last year, we saw someone can a huge putt for the birdie here. Well,
that was
okay.
Yours truly.
Yes, nice.
That looks like it's a birdie.
Rarely do we see him, and here's Nick. He's going to try and force something over, and he gets caught up.
All right.
And now you can't really, I'm standing on the catch here because you can't see the basket from the tee. And so, just giving everyone a little perspective there.
It's better to get the catch. It's more visually appealing too, because then you can see the flight of the disc and see what they're kind of facing.
Nick, a little frustrated with himself. You hear him giving himself a pep talk. He struggled with that forehand. A few times he started off early, and now looks like he pulled that one over too much.
Yeah. Are you putting a run on it?
Yeah, wow.
That was woof. Looked really good.
This is Nick for his par.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, and we've heard him be quite audible during this round. 1 minute he's saying get up, the next minute he's saying drop. It's like I feel like it's just a matter of the power, too much or too little. But he's been online with a lot of his putts, just not
Yeah.
getting them to drop. And this is kind of a unique perspective. It kind of looks like, oh, is this a really short hole?
This is a meme waiting to be bored. Oh man! Again,
Look at the putt, nice.
he just aced it in the short tee.
But with that, he pulls to 21 under, right there with Adam,
Awesome.
and doing some work for the bogey is Newton, but momentarily at least tied. Yeah,
What a shot.
incredible drive.
Yeah.
Henry saying that he's like, I don't think I've ever seen someone drive it, to that close.
That's
So
rare
that's pretty
territory
incredible.
for sure. Henry cleans up well. There you go.
All right, so Hammis maintains a 1-stroke advantage as now we're going to head over and take a look at hole number 22.
Awesome. We're leaving the tee here. It's 421 feet. Pretty much just a booming hyzer for all these guys. You can try and cut inside a little bit if you want to go low hyzer line, but if you really want to have a chance to get to the basket, just put it out wide and fast, and it should bring it on into here. I'm curious to see how far these guys throw it, because it still is a long ways away, up on the hill a little bit. And if you do happen to pull the shot, we're now going into a headwind, so that's been kind of variable. But if you do happen to pull the shot over, it can go OB into some planter boxes up by the wall.
Yeah, you're seeing a little bit of the breeze on Mike's shirt there, saying exactly like you were, a little bit of headwind.
All right, Mike is gonna have one of his putts at it.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a great shot, but it's certainly, there's no danger and it's in perfectly fine position. It's just not a great shot.
Goes wide.
Adam thinks that was a bad shot. He tells us, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
It was better than Mike's. So much power you hear by Henry getting up there and ripping it, and it looks like a similar result.
Yeah. It's just far enough on this one that you got to go just wide enough and don't want to tempt those trees that it puts it the basket just gets a little bit further out there, it feels like.
And I love the angle there. Not quite enough distance, but the angle was great.
Yeah. Well, he got on the hill, so that's all level.
Yeah, makes things a little easier, and you hear him kind of say something to himself. He's certainly frustrated with himself here on the green today.
Yeah.
Has Mike got some more magic in him?
I'd roll the dice on this one and take a bet he might.
Let's see from outside. Oh man. Right off the front, like
so close.
Yeah, dead center, on line with it, but just short. Adams trying to get that 2-stroke lead back.
And he does. And the boxing match continues.
Yeah, and I believe right now Anthony Barella is doing some work as well. We're going to check in with him after the next hole and see what he's up to. So we'll have to make note of the scores here. But Adam has Michael by 2.
Good putt by Henry there.
Unfortunately, it looks like Nick's kind of getting left behind right now. I mean, just not able to keep up. These guys are really just kind of ripping through the course.
Yeah, just a par. Still, for I'll bet the stat shows that there was a lot of pars on this hole, but when you got the lead card running away, it starts feeling like the world's long walk to the next tee pad.
One of our shorter holes at 241 feet, hole 23. What are you doing here?
Just chip it up there. I imagine they're going to throw, a putter or something stable like a zone or just anything stable like that. A spike. I'm curious to see what Adam's going to throw. I'll bet he throws something like a zone.
Yeah, we see him with a backhand. And it was this very hole last year. I saw one or two people go forehands out over the sidewalk in the road. And again, we're not supposed to second guess our players, but I don't know why you'd purposely throw anywhere near OB on this hole when you don't have to.
I would agree with you.
Great shot by Henry there a moment ago, putting himself right next to the pin.
Yeah, a little spike there. Most likely is Predator. He throws that thing everywhere.
We'll see if Nick here can get back in the thick of things. Remember, he started the round tied with Hammis. They were both 9 under. And that sits nicely.
Going back with Mikey, if you pay attention to some of his form, he's got like kind of that old school hop.
Yeah.
Harkens back to Dan Ginley or some of the other players from here in the state. And so Mikey grew up out in eastern Arizona, out basically like on a commune. And so if you've ever heard him talk, he'll say, "Oh, I was raised by wolves." But he grew up playing. He picked up disc golf playing Steve Johnson's course. He's got like 80 acres worth of big 27-hole course. Good putt there by him. And so everything out there was dirt tee pads and sandy. So that crow hop really was what worked on that kind of a course.
Oh, okay. So it was that's he had to adapt to the conditions at the time, and that's what kind of helped develop his entire style. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Because there was no big run-ups in the sand. And
that makes perfect sense. So we've seen a pair of birdies, Nick, and now looks like fourth to clean things up. Another star frame, and I think that means we're checking back in with Adam, with Anthony. Adam sits at 24. Mike's at 22. Henry, no CTP for you, pal. But let's take a look. This is our chase card check-in. I'd love to know what you guys think of these. And at this point, we're heading back a couple of holes where Anthony is at 18 under.
Yeah, that's in the realm there. Puts it in.
So that brings him to within 2, and then we watched Adam birdie this. Here's Anthony.
Going wide.
Come on.
No, kid. No. Oh, man.
So
makes that look super easy.
I was standing near the pin when that came in, and then when Henry said that to Adam when that card came through, he's like, "Yeah, you never see anyone get that close," referring to Adam. And I was like, "Well, just a few moments ago, Happy Gilmore came through."
Yeah, that looks close too.
So Barella
passed it.
Yeah. Oh my.
Just fireworks going up all over the course.
Look at this. He is trying to match stroke for stroke and just narrowly misses this. Oh, seriously? Wow. So on the chase card, Barella sits at 22 under. I believe that's what Michael's at. And Adam sits at 24. And we have just 4 holes left to play.
Let's go. This is some good golf.
Feels like a little bit of a bonus here as well, or no? Or is
I would agree. The trees are getting bigger where you really have to push something a lot harder than you used to. You got to go a lot wider or throw still a rather controlled high distance turnover. Some of these guys, though, man, they throw so far anymore. I don't even know what to count.
Yeah, Adam was making a slight adjustment. He said he was getting the dome just right, and then says it's ready for takeoff. Says that's bad, but I think if there's anything we've learned, some of his bad shots are still pretty darn good usually.
Not that bad.
Yeah, or not that bad at least, yeah.
Get maybe line up.
This is the 7th most difficult hole on the course. Not so much that you see bogeys, you don't see a lot of birdies.
Yeah. It takes a lot of energy in the disc, and right now they're going into a headwind. So at this particular moment, the air's pushing about 5 to 10 miles an hour into their faces, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, and I guess the question is, I mean, you really have to think: are you going to just try and play the wide hyzer out to the right, like we, just saw Mike or what Adam was doing, or do you try to play the flex shot, just knowing you're going to bring OB into play? You have to, flirt with OB at some point.
Yeah.
And you really have to trust your disc that you're going to turn it over the right amount.
It gets more difficult in the headwind also. In years past, we've dealt with this hole as more of a tailwind. And so you could get a little bit more aggressive with that shot. But when you're dealing with the headwind, any mistake you make, the nose angle is highly accentuated by the wind, and it will push you to places you didn't want to go.
Sounds like a Thursday night at college. But anyway, so Mike is he's just a real simple layup there. I mean, again, you got to throw a really good tee shot here to put yourself in position.
Yeah. How far is Adam looking at here?
This is probably a good 65 feet, and he's one of the best long-range putters in the world. They were all calling for it to go in. Let's put it this way. I was in a position where I couldn't get him and the basket in frame at once. So I had to actually, pan because I was a little out of position. So it was that far.
Plenty long enough.
Nick trying to cash in a long one. Just close, he says, but not quite enough. Henry, a little bit closer.
Let's see. These baskets are so much nicer than the baskets that were in previous tiers to putt at.
Yeah, just you can certainly be more aggressive, and that hits off the side of the rim. Sometimes you weren't rewarded, with a putt that stayed in, even though you put it right on the pole, and now that's not so much the case.
The other baskets were the same as these, though, in that if you don't hit the chains and you hit the rim, it's still not going to go in.
True.
So you got to catch the chains.
Putting tips with Pete Ulibarri.
Don't hit the tray, and you're going to be doing better than most.
And we see what looks like a bunch of pars there again. Very, very few birdies, as that averaged 3.3 on the final round. So here we are at hole 25, just a few holes left to play, 431 feet, and danger, left, right, beyond.
It's the same story. Planter box is on the right, sidewalk up the hill, gun it down the middle, and keep it straight as long as possible. The basket's 10 feet from OB, and every single one of these guys has the distance to get to the basket. It's just a matter of making sure they're in control on the way.
So something I picked up standing on the tee is Adam clubs down to a buzz there. And he said he's gone OB before, and he was playing this for a 3. So just incredible, a little bit of chess here. I mean, just not wanting to throw out of bounds. And he's got a 2-stroke lead with just 3 holes left to play, and he lays up.
Well, he puts the ball in Mikey's court in this position, and AB's court also. Like, you're going to have to go for it, boys, if you're going to get me.
Mike and AB both at 22 under, moving into hole number 25.
Well, that one's on the way. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that happen to me.
You're like, here, I'll lay down the challenge, and Mike's like, yeah, I got you, bro.
I
I'm right
got
here.
you. I've had
Hey.
so much fun, so many good times playing with Mikey. Such a good sport, such an excellent person for our sport, and we've had battles. This,
Yeah.
ooh, oh, he was just pitching. It looked like
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of a half run, I feel like, but I feel like the real, concession was off the tee, and I think that takes a lot of discipline, and we're gonna see just how well that does or doesn't pay off here. Henry's gonna wait. He sees some walkers just beyond the plants there.
It's up. It's in. Let's go, Henry.
Solid putt. Now, Henry obviously realizing he's not in contention here to take the W, but with every made putt, you're making another $50 or $100 at this point.
Yeah.
Huge payouts thanks to Chuck and Sam and Infinite Discs.
It was wonderful this year again. They're running a very good event. Let's go, Mikey.
So Adam says, yeah, come get it. And
Check.
Mike's like, yeah, got it. I got you, bro. And now I think we're going to actually backtrack to catch up with what just happened on the chase card. This is Anthony. Again, Henry's 24 and Michael's 23 as they've completed this hole. And AB's at 22. And that's pushing left. Gary kind of lost it, but that pushes left and up on the sidewalk on that high left side. And now he is out of bounds, trying to save his par, which is 2 holes left to play after this. No.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, and he's in disbelief, and you see the card mates all trying to feel like where the official, not paver, that curb, so to speak.
Yeah.
Planner curb planner. Planner's nuts. I don't know.
It's a curb.
Okay.
We'll just call it a curb.
You and your
Contractor
technical
says
terms.
it's a curb.
Oh, and AB is officially deemed out of bounds.
That takes him out of it right there.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, that's going to push him to 20 under with 2 holes left to play.
And these guys aren't going to give that many away.
No, probably
maybe
not.
Maybe one of them in some highly unfortunate situations, but not both of them.
So we've got officially, I think, the shortest hole on the course, 240 feet, plenty of danger. You will see the mandatory pole that you kind of took the flight as if it were there. There's that mandatory pole. So they have to throw from the tee. It has to be to the left of that pole, or as we're looking at it, to the right.
Correct. Henry goes high. Trickles up towards about 28 to 30 feet, maybe.
Yeah, a little uphill. See the Predator. The Predator goes the other way too, with a forehand.
It does. It does.
Okay. Good to know.
It's a common misconception that they only go to the left.
Oh, and look at that.
One on top of the other.
Yeah, the chess match continues.
Nick gets that forehand high, and that works for him that time really well. All right. Mikey's taking his breath. Here it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll the wager and say yes.
Well, he's going to need it.
Man.
This is Michael Lassuy.
Let's go.
Wow, clutch putt
Let's
with
go.
one hole left to play. He is officially tied with Adam. AB goes on to birdie this hole, but that only puts him at 21 under.
And
And
Henry just goes just right over the basket out of bounds. That shows how close that OB is. It makes that putter weigh a whole lot more. That's for sure.
so just a few feet closer. Adams got this. He's trying to take a one-stroke lead into the final hole, but he's going to need this to do it.
Well, here's a little pressure though, so he has to now. And he does.
As you said, that never was even an inch off center of that pole the whole way. Great putt by Adam.
For sure. Nick's down below. Excellent putt for Nick.
There it is, yeah. And he'll bring it back in, the 1 meter. And quickly, I want to say thanks again to everyone, especially you, Pete, for the drone footage, along with the commentary. Appreciate it. And congratulations, a phenomenal performance. You came out and took this event down. How many times have you done that? Won this event?
3 times in a row now.
Oh, okay.
So I was pretty happy about that. Thanks for having me along also. I really appreciate sitting here and chatting this with you and shared with people some of these guys that are playing incredible golf this weekend.
Well, you're building a dynasty. 3 championships in a row. Now we're hole 27, 619 feet. And what a gorgeous finishing hole for this course in this round.
For sure. It's 300 feet to clear the water. Not a problem for these guys. The main challenge comes on your upshot. That fence kind of makes it a little easier if you want to play a forehand into it. But the first order of business, get over the water, get past the trees, make it open for yourself to get to the green.
If you look ahead to the flags or look at Mike's shirt, you see a little bit of that left to right wind, which more or less should help most of our players on the tee and the approach. And okay. I thought he was going to flirt with the road, but that's a pretty good position to be in.
Yeah.
Anthony has gone ahead and birdied this, but that still only brings him to 22 under par. So that's where he will finish, is at 22 under.
Looks like Adam throws a great shot there also. Let's just right on top of Mikey's disc, a little to the right of it, and the chess match continues. But I think at the moment, Adam has the upper hand.
Yeah, a little bit of an advantage for sure. And a very proficient forehand on top of it. So setting himself up in great position. Big shout out to Hav and Amy Jo, who always hosts me. Amy actually works at that school right next door.
Oh, yeah?
And yeah, a huge shout out to those guys, the most kind and caring and fun-loving hosts that I could ask for year after year. Really appreciate it. Love those guys so much.
Nick left himself in a good position here, it looks like. He's got probably about 300 to the pin, 280.
Asking for it to kick left. It does. He says he meant to do that. I don't know that I buy that, though.
I wouldn't push that fence so hard, but I won't question him. He also, I think, is probably pretty good at billiards. So that little carom there is not a bad play.
Forehand.
So,
yeah, and as you said, that fence is a great backstop for sure.
If that fence wasn't there, the play would be completely different. Everybody would be laying up to 50 short and taking a run from there.
And this is a huge moment. If he wants to, keep pushing, he's going to need to put this close.
He's going to go wide over the road, too. Comes.
Oh. It stays in bounds, and Michael Lassuy is currently 17 under, trying to get to 18 under on the round out of 27 holes. Here's Adam's forehand.
Adams is out. Yeah. He's not going to miss that shot. If I had to bet my life on a shot and that shot be thrown, I would pick Adam probably to throw it. I'd pick Mikey too. Neither of those guys are going to miss that in 100 shots.
Not today, it looks like. Again, Adam is 16 under. He started at 9 for the day after receiving a penalty stroke for the turned in scorecard, we'll say, overnight. Oh,
man, that looked like it had the height.
I got another shout out. My boys over at First Light, Dan and Boyd. Thank you guys for all the support and love, along with Chris Cobb and Curtis, along with Gary to the O. So many people. I could list Arizona peeps, including your mother. Always love seeing her and enjoying time well spent as these guys are closing out. What a performance by Michael Lassuy to go now, if he can make this, 18 under.
He's putting for 18 under.
just to keep the pressure on, any pressure that might, Adam has 12 feet, but congratulations. What a performance, Michael.
Good job, Mikey. That's who Mike Lassuy is, everybody.
Incredible.
Right, who Adam Hams is.
He's got it. Adam Hammis from Wisconsin, defending his title just as he did at the Shelley Sharp. I'm going to catch up with him in a moment. Pete, I'm going to let you go. Thanks again to you and all the supporters and sponsors. We love you, buddy. Thanks for joining.
You have a great evening.
All right. As I said, we're going to catch up. I think Michael and I have a quick exchange, and then I move into talking to your champion, Adam Hammis. We'll see you guys for the final scores after we talk to Adam.
You guys are studs, dude. That was sick.
Thanks, Terry. Hey, man. Appreciate it, brother. Nice work. That was my first time seeing you on film. Anything to say to everybody?
I just want to thank my family. My sister came out and, get out there and have some fun.
You killed it. It was awesome to watch. Nice round.
Thank you.
I'm the Disc Golf Guy, and that was my video blog. I gotta say, I feel like a little deja vu. A year ago, you won Shelley Sharp. We came back, you win Maricopa, and here in 2021, it's a direct repeat of both of those. That's gotta feel good.
It feels great. I mean, that was the goal, obviously, coming into 2021, is try to win the 2 tournaments that I won last year and start the year exactly the same as I did last year, so pretty happy with it.
Any significant changes from last year to this year in terms of your game, your off season? I mean, obviously we've dealt with the COVID situation, but anything else that you really feel like is different from 2020 versus 2021 right now?
I feel more dialed, I feel more focused, I feel like I matured a little bit, like that next level to like perform better, just a little more calm on the course. And then like my putt's obviously really good right now. I think I'm leaning on that quite a bit. And then my sidearm has improved immensely since last year this time.
So if your putt is really good and your sidearm's getting better, is it your driving that's not so great? Like, because I mean, you said you're relying on your putting.
Yeah, I mean, you watch the coverage. I had to make a lot of 40-footers for birdie. I wasn't necessarily putting the disc next to the basket. So,
talk a little bit about this round. Some people were talking about, of course, Nick Newton, who's tied for the lead, and then we see AB on the chase card. Those are some of the names we kind of expect, but instead, we all kind of got to learn a little bit more about Mike Lassuy, huh?
Yeah, Mike Lassuy was shredding.
Yes.
Mike Lassuy was shredding. I was nervous the whole time. I laid up on 25, 5, and then I was like, all right, I'll take my chance with Mike on the last 2. I feel more confident to birdie those than I do this one, so that's kind of what I did.
And he made you do it.
And he made me do it. He stepped up, parked it. I had to lay up, and was like, all right, take my stroke, and had to birdie out to win. So
one thing that I was thinking, and probably said during the commentary here, have you seen a guy throw so far with such little effort?
Yeah, I mean,
it looks like he's barely throwing it.
He has a little crow hop, and his release is really clean, and he knows how his disc fly. He's putting them there, making putts.
Someone you can no longer look past. If Mike Lassie's playing, you know he's going to take it all the way.
If you're playing Mike Lassuy, watch out.
All right, this is Adam Hammis. Adam, anything you want to say to everyone here in 2021?
No, I'm just really excited to get on tour finally and just prove myself and see what I can do. And thank you, Terry, for coming out all the way back out here again and filming. appreciate you having it out here, and then thank you to Discraft, Grip Equipment, and Resistance Discs.
All right, back-to-back champions, back-to-back years. I don't know if you could ask for much more. That's Adam Hammes. This is the Maricopa Open presented by Infinite Discs, and we'll see you guys next time. Boom.
Appreciate it, Terry.
Thank you, man. Nice.